trying to. I just didn't want to get my shoes soaked.
No,
Let's go walk. It's not all about Mindy's shit. I'm just trying to talk about her. And anyway, I'll quit talking about it. He gets aggravated because I'm getting sucked into the drama, and I really am.
Well, hello there, wonderful people. How are you? Boy, there has been a lot going on in the internet world of Shanny and Rev in just like a 12-hour span from like last night to this morning. Holy crap. And there was just so much happening that I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and stream and we're going to try and cover all of this and get it all done with in one stream. One thing I do want to throw out there beforehand is that I am having issues with my internet right now. I'm actually using my aunt's internet at the moment because mine needs to be repaired and it won't be fixed until Monday on my birthday because that's the soonest they could get somebody out to fix it. Yay, me. So that's why I'm not on camera. We're going to try and, be as less stressful on the internet as we possibly can. Because I don't know how well her internet is going to work with me over here next door. But, that's okay, Leon. No big deal. I'm glad you're here now. I appreciate it. But there was a bunch of stuff that happened. Now, Rev put out this particular video. It's only a 2-minute video. He put it out last night. And I had a chuckle when I watched it because apparently he needs to call the FBI. Excuse me. And it made me giggle. It made me chuckle. There we go. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's watch this video. Let's have a good laugh here at Rev's expense. Because he just doesn't really seem to understand. And he is very good at not taking responsibility for his own actions and instead puts it all on the internet because it's easier to make the people on the internet the bad guy and blame them for everything that's happening in his life rather than take accountability for the things that he's said and done and the way he's directed his own life. It's always easier to blame somebody else, right? It is very stress-filled, husband. It has been a terribly stressful day. I spent an hour and a half this morning with the internet company trying to get this issue sorted out, figure out why my internet was not working, and then hearing them say, well, we can't get anybody out till Monday. Well, that's 4 days from now. What am I supposed to do in the meantime? Oh, my goodness. Hello, welcome. I don't think I've seen your face around here before, but thank you. I appreciate you. And there's Kevin. Hey, I'm glad everybody could come out. But yeah, so we're going to try and suffer through my internet issues and hopefully everything goes smoothly. But let's get into Rev's video. Give me a second here. I don't know if I clicked the whatchamahoo's it. The audio. So we're just going to do it again once more to be on the safe side. Share audio. There we go. Yeah, I don't think I clicked it the first time. There we go. All right, Rev, what do you got to say?
Hey, guys, how you doing? It's Rev here. And I want to make this video to have it on record that this whole thing that's gone on has affected me in many different ways. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you that at this point in my life with these people right now, I am telling you that I am actually scared for my life and existence.
Now, why would that be, Rev? Because who's making threats, physical threats to you? We haven't heard any of those. I mean, because if somebody threatened to hurt you, Rev, you and Shanny both in a heartbeat would be all over the internet with showing off these threats that somebody's doing this to you. I mean, people are reporting your content because you're scamming people and you're, again, broadcasting child abuse on the internet. But that's not threatening you in any way. I mean, in fact, you took this before a judge and tried to get a restraining order against Dragnot. And the judge told you that you had no grounds. So you've already had, people involved in the Justice Department explain to you that this is not threatening you in any way. So I think you might be over-exaggerating here just a wee bit.
These people they have gone so far into harassment that I fear now. I actually have fear for my well-being of myself and my family. So I am requesting that people just blow the whistle on people that will not leave people alone. Like, if
I mean, that's pretty vague there, Rev. Blow the whistle on people that won't leave people alone. I mean, that's a pretty broad spectrum that you're telling us to do. I mean, I don't know what you want to do there. What do you want us to do? What do you want them other people to do? Like, leave Rev and Shanny alone. Is that it? Is that it? Because that's, again, awfully vague.
If you have anything like this, oh, my fucking thinning here. No, it's because it fucking, it's always the way you part it, man. It's so annoying. But anyway, sorry.
Cut your hair, Rev. That hairstyle's just not doing anything for you. It's not at all.
Vanity. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
At this point, like, I just got a bunch of requests on a new account I just made from these psychos asking me to pay them, telling me to get a job. This has...
Oh no, somebody asked you for money and told you to get a job. The humanity, Rev. How are you ever going to survive that? The trauma that you must endure from people telling you to get a job. This is me pitying you.
The end. Like, I took screen...
People need to stop telling me to get a job because I don't wanna.
Screenshots, and I am going to call the FBI and see what they can do to take me.
See, this made me laugh so much. I'm gonna take screenshots and call the FBI. You call the FBI, Rev, and they're gonna laugh you off the phone. I'm sorry, but oh no, people are telling me to get a job and asking me for money. Please arrest them. Like, what? Hello, Fatima. Welcome. Hi, Epic. There has been a lot of speculation about whether or not he's smoking things other than pot and cigarettes. I don't think it's been confirmed, but he does show a lot of the characteristics of somebody that smokes meth. There could be other things that he's doing, judged on his behavior. But again, that's hasn't been confirmed. That's just speculation from, conclusions drawn from his behavior. Why not Interpol, CIA, MI6? Yeah. I mean, it's silly that he thinks that he has enough of a problem. This just shows his entitlement, that he's so entitled that how dare people say mean things about me on the internet? How dare people tell me to get a job? How dare people, ask me for money? Like, the audacity. I need the FBI. Like, that just shows how skewed his thinking is and how entitled he believes that he is. That he thinks that the FBI needs to get involved and tell these people to stop being mean to me. He's got a really warped sense of reality here. He needs to get 007 in on this. Yeah, that's just his entitlement showing.
People down because people need protection from you. You're psychopaths that will not leave people alone.
I need protection from all the questions. I need to be alone, to be free on the internet, to do whatever the hell I want and not be held accountable for it.
And it's clear. There is so much evidence of this on other people's channels and on your own channels and in comments and everything else. You people need to stop this.
We need to stop what? Having opinions on your behavior? I mean, he seems to think, and he doesn't seem to understand that when you broadcast every single aspect of your life, people are going to have opinions on it, and people are allowed to comment on what you put out on the internet. That's the way things are. We have a right to criticize what you put out on the internet. And there's a real simple way to stop that. And that's to stop putting your entire life on the internet for everybody to see. It's not that difficult. You know, you could just get offline, go live your lives, go get a job, find somewhere to live, take care of your kids and your animals, better yourself, better your mental health. You know, Shanny could go to the doctor and get, she could look into getting healthier, and you don't have to show everybody on the internet what you're doing, and then nobody would know. Then there wouldn't be how many people adding their commentary about what you do because you're not putting it out there. Isn't he afraid of big government? Yeah, he does. He thinks that there's a new world order, but then he wants the FBI. See, this is a thing that I've really noticed about his type of people, that, they're afraid of the big tech and the government's trying to control you and, all this terrible stuff. But then as soon as they have the tiniest little inconvenience and problem like this, oh, we have to get the FBI on this. Oh, we have to get the police on this. Like, these people need to come in and help me. It's like they really pick and choose about what conspiracies they try to put forward. But it's amusing that all of this stuff is happening to him, and he wants to go running to a government agency when he's just yesterday was talking about the new world order and the government and stuff. It's just, he contradicts himself on a daily basis. The internet is their life, unfortunately. It really is. They have made it their life. And that's why I think they're having such a huge meltdown about, their channels being deleted and their accounts being suspended and all of that stuff, because their behavior is finally catching up with them. And the things that they're normally used to having is getting taken away from them, and they don't understand the whole consequences for your actions type thing. And because they've invested so much of themselves into the internet world, now that they don't have it, it's just like they don't know what to do with themselves. And they've painted themselves into that corner, unfortunately. But it's easier, again, for them to blame everybody else for the situation that they're in.
Because you have ruined our lives. You succeeded in what you wanted to do.
No. Rev, we didn't ruin your lives. We didn't ruin your lives at all. 3 short years ago, you had almost $250,000 just 3 years ago. And if you had have been a responsible adult, you and Shanny both could be living extremely comfortable and not having a care in the world. If you had have been a responsible adult and handled your money properly, you wouldn't have gotten kicked out of your house. You wouldn't have to worry about not having money for food or not having a place to live. You wouldn't have had to pick up and move across the country again. Like, if you had made better life choices, you would not be in the situation that you are in right now. Because honestly, if we take the internet drama that you're dealing with out of the equation and we look at the way that your life went, you'd still end up in the same place because you made all those terrible choices. The only difference is that you broadcast it all for us to see. So we got to go along and see the decline in all the things that you did and how you wasted all your money and basically made yourselves go broke in 3 years. You know, like the internet didn't control how you spent your money or what you did with it. The internet didn't control you and make you abuse your kids publicly. The internet didn't make you threaten Shanny's life and the life of her kids and broadcast that all. The internet had nothing to do with it. The only thing that we have to do with it is sitting here criticizing you for being an asshole and doing that. And unfortunately, all this stuff that's happening to you now is a result of that. And you have no one to blame but you and Shanny for that. It's just we happened to be here to go along with it and watch because you broadcast the entire ordeal. And that's on you for that.
I don't know where the hell I'm going to be in the next few months. I don't. I could be under the bridge in fucking Scranton.
You don't have to be, though. You don't have to be under the bridge. You could go out and get a job. Cut your hair, clean yourself up, take a shower, put on some clean clothes that you haven't been wearing for a week. Go out and start looking for a job. And I guarantee that you would be in a better place than you are right now. But you don't want to. So you make excuses about why you can't find a job rather than doing something about it. Because you try and say that because you have a criminal history and you're a felon, that, and I don't even think he's really classified as a felon. I think he just has like a criminal background. I don't know. I'm not quite 100% sure, so take that with a grain of salt. But he does have a criminal background of some sort, and he uses that as an excuse to not get a job. But guess what? They hire people with criminal backgrounds in Pennsylvania. They do. They do. And you would just have to put forward the effort to, go out and get a job. Go to an employment agency. Go somewhere and say, hey, look, I'm ready and willing to work. I just need some help in how to go about doing that because I have a criminal background. There are people out there and agencies out there that will help you do that. But you have to be willing to help yourself, Rev, and you're not. And that's your biggest obstacle.
I don't know. You have completely ruined our lives.
Yes.
So isn't that enough?
I was going to cover that today.
Isn't it enough that you ruined our lives? Can we just have financial accounts that everybody else is allowed to have?
See, yeah, you are. Unfortunately, you abused those, and now you don't get the privilege of using them anymore. See, that rule applies to everybody, right? Those services have terms of service that you agree to when you use them. And if you break those terms of service, then guess what? The company says, hey, guess what? You don't get to use our service anymore. That's not the internet doing that. That's you, Rev. That's you, Shanny. If you're going to use those services to scam and con people, then you lose the privilege of being able to use those services. And again, that is your fault. That's not the internet's fault. We didn't make you do that. But again, it's easier for you to project that onto the internet and blame other people than take responsibility for the things that you did yourself.
Because this is to the point of absolute harassment and stalking for everybody involved.
No.
That's doing this to us.
No, it's not. Oops, there we go. Oh, yeah, what a freeze frame there. You're a better person than I am, Sassy. I couldn't be this nice. I honestly, I don't feel like I'm being nice. I don't feel like I'm being nice at all. And see, Rev and Shanny are the type of people that they only want to hear from the yes men and the yes women, the people that are going to sit there and validate how they're feeling and validate their accusations. That's all they want to hear. They just want to hear people that are saying yes. So when someone steps in and says, hey, Rev, you need to get a job, or hey, Shanny, maybe you shouldn't use the N-word, things like that, they don't want to hear from that. And then suddenly, if it's against what they believe, then you're a stalker and a harasser and you need to go to jail. Like, I don't know how many of you guys watch Dragnaut, but he was showing some DMs and played some voice clips that were sent to him that Shanny made in the last maybe couple of weeks or so. And she very, very liberally uses the N-word and magically found the G's. You know, but it's like, I don't really understand how they don't comprehend that they're accountable for their own actions, you know, and how they can just sit and blame everybody else. And they are the poor, innocent little victims that have done no wrong. You know, even though we have lots and lots of screenshots, we have voice clips, and we have video evidence of all the bullshit that they've done, especially over the last year. And yet they still maintain that they're innocent. And yet they still want to sit there and be like, we haven't done anything wrong. Well, I'm sorry, but we've seen with our own eyes what you've done. All right, so we're going to remove this one, and we're going to move on to... Now, Shanny made 2 streams about her crying this morning. I only saw the one that she put on YouTube, but apparently she did one on Instagram Live as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch XX, who uploaded both of them in one video, which makes it extremely convenient for me to go ahead and share that with you guys. So give me 1 second. I will get that going here. Remember, Mindy, share audio. Share audio. There we go. It is really sad. It's super sad because those boys are getting dragged through this. And the night they first got to the uncle's house, and someone accused Shanny of child abuse, and she grabbed their oldest, Will, and shoved him in front of the camera and tried to get him to tell the internet that she's not a child abuser. And he was like very adamant about like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get on camera. I don't want to talk to the internet. And he tried to get away. And when he did, she stood there and screamed at him at the top of her lungs because she was angry at the people on the internet, but she was taking it out on that 14-year-old boy who didn't want to get on camera. And that was just cruel. That really pissed me off because that boy did not deserve that. And after what he's already been through, she still continues to abuse him in front of everybody and broadcast it, you know? And like, Shanny's made the news before, so that's going to follow him. Like, what happens if when he goes to school now in Pennsylvania, some other kids have seen that, you know, or they know about Shanny and Rev, and they now harass him at school because of what they've seen online, because of what their parents did. Like, it's... Hi, Robert. How are you? It's heartbreaking what those boys have had to go through. It really is. And it gets even worse, but we're going to get into Shanny's next video because then that'll make more sense. Before I start this video, I just want to let you know the basic gist of it is Shanny's father passed away yesterday. Either last night or this morning. I'm not sure which. So she is very upset. There is a lot of crying. So if that is something that bothers you, you may want to click off the video. I just wanted to warn y'all. So this first one is Instagram Live. Now, one of the things that surprised me about this is that she got the call this morning about her father passing away. The first thing she does is streams to Instagram and streams to YouTube and streams herself crying. I mean, if my dad passed away, getting on the internet to tell everybody on a live is not the first thing that I would do. Right? So I don't really understand the logic here about why you would immediately jump online to cry to everybody. That seems irrational to me. That's a fan blowing on her microphone, as far as I know. But, like, just to sit here and stare at yourself crying?
I have something to tell you guys, and it's not good.
Like, okay, so it's sad. It's sad that her father passed away. It is very sad. But number one, I don't get why she's so upset, because for the last couple of years, all she's done is talk about how she hopes that her parents would die, including her father. She has trash talked her parents and talked about how terrible they are, how they abused her, how they did all these awful things to her, how she doesn't talk to them anymore. But now she's online bawling her eyes out. And that to me is just extremely insincere and seems like it's just attention seeking. And I can't have sympathy for someone that is just attention seeking. Views are more important. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yep. It really is. Views are more important. And that's what she's out for.
I gotta put this on YouTube too. I don't want to.
You don't have to. I have to put this on YouTube. Who is forcing you to come online and tell everybody that your dad is dead? And show everybody that you're crying? Absolutely nobody. Nobody. And you know what's funny is that just yesterday, she was bitching and moaning and complaining about, you guys don't know anything about me, blah, blah, blah. It's because you broadcast everything, Shanny. And this is a perfect example of what we're saying. Perfect example of what we're saying, because you broadcast every aspect of your life. And then you wonder why people criticize you.
I got a phone call from my sister. And she told me my dad died. My dad is dead.
Yes, Robert, I am.
She told me he had metastatic lung cancer. And then the abuse of my family came in and told me, now that you know, you can deal with it yourself.
Notice how she has to turn it around about herself, right? Dad's dead, but it's about me, my abusive family. They're abusing me. They're cold to me. They don't care about me. Sorry. But yeah, so it has to be all about her, right? Like, my abusive family, they're so cold to me. It's all about me. Me. Feel sorry for me. You know? Like, she mentioned in her YouTube, because I watched the YouTube video of it, and she talked about how her sister didn't say I love you and I'm sorry and wasn't all sympathetic to her. But she is estranged from most of her family. So, I mean, it's not surprising that this is the way that they act. Like, I've been estranged from my birth mother for 15 years. So if somebody called me and said that she was dead, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. And, you know, if it was my stepfather that called to tell me, I wouldn't expect an I love you or I'm sorry or, you know, do you need anything, that type of thing. Because we just don't have that relationship anymore, right? Because you're estranged for a reason. So as someone that's been estranged from, you know, a whole side of that family, I don't know why she would expect them to be sympathetic to her. You know, like, the sister didn't have to call and tell her, but she did. Why does she expect more than that with family that she doesn't interact with and that she's basically written off herself? You know, tit for tat, really.
I thought you had the right to know that your dad died. And then she said, I don't want a relationship with you or anything to do with you. And I called her a cold fucking bitch, because that's a cold fucking bitch. So you tell me my dad died, and then you tell me to deal with it myself.
Yeah, and you have to deal with it yourself. You have painted yourself into this corner, Shanny. You estranged yourself from your own family. So with something like this happening, what else did you expect? Did you expect them to suddenly turn into loving and caring people for you, to open their arms and say, "Oh, Shanny, let us come take care of you"? No. When you treat your family like shit, then that's what you're going to get. They're not going to want relationships with you. They're going to want nothing to do with you. It was a courtesy for her to tell you that your father died. She did not have to do that. Like my mother's grandfather, whom I was close to growing up, he died. He died like 3 years ago. I didn't get a phone call. When my mother's mother passed away, I didn't get a phone call. You know, so I've had family members on that side of the family die, and nobody has called to tell me. I read it in an obituary. So the fact that your sister's calling you to at least let you know that your dad's dead, that was a courtesy. She didn't have to do that. Okay? You're an adult, and just because your family doesn't obligate you to have a relationship with other people in your family. If you have toxic family members, you don't have to have relationships with them. There's no law out there saying that you have to be in a relationship with toxic people, whether they're family or not. And Shanny doesn't seem to understand that.
There's no funeral. There's no memorial. Nothing of him. Nothing.
Exactly,
of my dad.
Robert.
COVID.
I can't even say goodbye to my father.
What did you expect, Shanny? What did you like? I am trying really hard to be a sympathetic person and not be mean. But I can't. I just can't. I can't feel sorry for someone who put themselves in this situation at all. And then to go online and bawl like a baby for something that you've done yourself, I can't. I can't muster up the feeling of sorry for you when you did this to yourself. And now she's ugly crying in front of the internet so that people will feel sorry for her and send her money. That's what this is all about. Oh, disgusting. Shanny.
I felt it last night too.
Oh, bullshit.
When he passed, I felt it.
Right?
I had a headache
Exactly.
all day. And I knew something was wrong.
I knew something was wrong. If you knew something was wrong yesterday, Shanny, why didn't you pick up the telephone and call your family? You know, you're just complaining and bitching about your sister. Why didn't you take the step and call your family and say, "Hey, I have this bad feeling. Is Dad all right? Can I talk to him? Can I?" What about you, Shanny? What about you?
I knew something was wrong. I was like, am I dying? Oh,
She always
it
thinks
was my
she's dying.
dad. I love my daddy.
Oh, bullshit.
So he got me into Pink Floyd, and he got me into Supertramp. He sat me down and got me into Star Trek. My daddy was everything to me.
If he was everything to you, then why weren't you working on fixing a relationship with him? Why did you say all the terrible things online that you did about him? Why did you wish so much ill will against your parents and wish that your parents would die and you wish that your parents would suffer and that you wanted nothing to do with them? Why do you suddenly forget all those terrible things that you said to your family or the way that you treated them when you lived in their house? What about all that, Shanny?
And I loved him. He was the first man I loved.
Hey, Glitchy.
And I loved him. I couldn't even say goodbye to him.
Yep.
Daddy, I love you. I don't know how to handle it. And I'm doing exactly what TJ did. He found out his dad died and he went online to tell everyone because he didn't know what to fucking do.
We should also mention too that there have been, you know, members of, I think it was the Geek Squad, I believe. One of the members of the Geek Squad passed away. And then have been other people that have lost family members that Shanny has mocked for dying. So, I mean, when I sit here and I criticize her for putting out these videos, some people might look this and be like, well, she just lost her father. Why are you criticizing her? Because Shanny doesn't do that herself. Shanny likes to make fun of other people dying. Shanny likes to think that other people should die because they make fun of her online. So I don't feel sorry for Shanny ugly crying on the internet about her father. I feel sad, and I offer my condolences to Shanny's family, but not to Shanny, because I don't think Shanny deserves that. I think that this is a big dose of karma coming back to bite Shanny in the ass. You know, I said something in Drag's chat today about, because she did a video, it was either yesterday or the day before, and she pulled out her Bible and she was going on and on about how if I'm lying, I'm swearing on the Bible, this is all that I need, like God strike me down if I'm lying, blah blah blah. She made this big whole deal about how she's an honest person, she's not a bad person, and God should strike her down if she's not. And then her father passes away 2 days later. All these terrible things are happening to her. You know, how can you not possibly consider that this is karma coming back to bite Shanny in the butt? I vaguely remember her saying her dad raped her, but I can't swear to that one. I have heard something similar about Shanny being assaulted. What I have heard is that Shanny was assaulted in prison, apparently. But I haven't heard that one, though. I mean, it's a possibility. There is, Shanny's mom alluded to something happening to her when she was younger, when she was like 16. And it was kind of implied that it was sexual assault in some way, but never really said if it was, what happened, who did it, that type of thing. So I think it's a lot of speculation. But me personally, I've never actually seen anything that's confirmed that. But yeah, let's, okay, go back. Sorry, I have to flip between screens here. Ew.
And then I'm told that my mom's about to die too. So this year I'm gonna lose my father and my mother.
You knew about your mother, though? You were told about your mother back in the beginning of June, before you moved, like the end of May, beginning of June, when you moved out of the townhouse in Colorado. Someone told you about your mother wasn't doing well. So June, July, August. So almost 3 months later, have you tried to do anything about saying goodbye to your mother, knowing that she is, you know, end stage cancer and is dying, and you have known about it for 3 months? Have you done anything to rectify your relationship with her, to you know, make peace with her before she passes away? Or are we just going to, you know, cry to the internet some more about it so that we can garner some sympathy, then hopefully turn that into cold hard cash?
People stop hating me now.
Oh,
I don't think I can take any.
Oh, that's why she's doing it, because she wants people to stop hating her. Feel sorry for Shanny. My dad just died. Please stop hating me. Oh, there we go. Again, we're turning this around to show Shanny's true colors, that this is about Shanny. It's not about her dad. This is about Shanny. It's all about me, me, me.
More! I'm dealing with my own health problems, where I don't know how much longer I have either.
Oh my God. No, see, that's even more. I don't know how much longer I have. Put that on the table if you're going to pour it, please. Thank you. Please don't make a mess. But anyway, so yeah, this is, feel sorry for Shanny because I might be dying too. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. She's again trying to garner some, and you know what though? This is not the first time that Shanny has tried to play off that she's dying. Whoa, 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 that's enough. Uh-huh. That is an entire cup full, child. That is huge. Do not spill. But yeah, this is not the first time she's tried to play off that she's on her deathbed. This is like the second or third time Shanny's tried to pretend that she's dying or give the internet the impression that she's dying. It was just a few weeks ago that Rev was begging for money and being like, we need money so that we can find a place for Shanny to go and die. She needs somewhere to lay her head down and rest for the end of her days. Like, this is what they're doing, is they're really trying to play it up. And they're trying to get sympathy for the internet because they can turn that into money. Rev has a video up too. Oh, he's got another one? Wow, the video, like, I have another video lined up after this of Rev's. And it's just, okay, we'll look at that in a second here. I want to get through this Instagram one because I haven't seen it yet. Oh, gross.
And this is just another layer of fucking stress that I don't know if I can fucking take.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's just for attention.
My daddy.
Oh, Muffin.
My daddy.
If you cared about your dad, see, this is the thing that I have heard a lot of times is you can't measure who cares about you by the way that they react when they're dead, right? It's how they treated you in life. And she hasn't given a shit about her dad in how many years? And then all of a sudden he passes away and it's my daddy, you know? So if you didn't give a shit about him while he was alive, then why do you give a shit now? You know, he's gone. You should have done something when he was alive. If he meant that much to you, then why did you just sit back and do nothing with all this time that you could have had? That's your own damn fault. Good job, Glitchy.
I don't. They said they don't. They told me he died and told me to deal with it myself. That's what they told me. I just thought you had the right to know if Dad died, and you know what? You can deal with it now yourself. I can't have my family to console me. I can't console my family. Do you know how horrifying this is for me?
You don't have your family to console you because of your own actions. Why? You have shown time and again that you don't give a shit about them, but you expect them to give a shit about you. Again, we're showing our entitlement because we believe that we can treat everybody else however we want to treat them, but then they have to be there when I need them. And if they're not, then they're pieces of shit. Like, that's not how that works. You know, if you're a toxic person, people are going to want nothing to do with you. And if you haven't been there for them, then why would they turn around and be there for you?
Another unfair fucking thing in life.
Ugh, gross. It's really not her being composed. Like, I mean, I get being this upset over losing a family member. Oh, gross. I get being this upset over losing your family member, regardless of whether you're estranged from them or not. I get it. Because I would be too. The difference is I don't understand why. Well, I do understand, but she's broadcasting it to everybody so everybody can see how upset she is, so that she can turn that around and use it in her favor. She wants to now manipulate her audience, being able to use this into please don't hate me or please give me money and feel sorry for me. You know what I mean? So like if my father passed away, I'd be probably in more of a mess than she is right now. The difference is that I would not be online live streaming it all for everybody to see. That would be something that I would be dealing with in private, you know, with my family, with my husband, with my children. That's not something I'm going to broadcast to the whole world. And Shanny's doing it as a manipulation tactics for her audience. Can I trust anything that she says, Mark? No, absolutely not. I don't. I really don't. Which is probably another thing too, is that the only thing that we've got to go on that her father is actually dead right now is her word. So, I mean, this could all be a ploy and she could be faking this entire thing. I don't know that yet. I'm just going by what she's broadcasting right now. So if it came out tomorrow that her father was still alive, I wouldn't be surprised. But it would also show that, again, she's trying to manipulate her audience. Yeah, exactly. And I think that would probably be the most of it. Like, if you lost a family member, the last thing that you would want to be doing is logging online and telling the whole internet about it. You know what I mean? Like, that would be so low on that priority list. Because I would have so many other things that I would want to and need to deal with. But this just shows how bad this internet addiction is for Shanny, because the first thing that she did when she found out was she had to broadcast it. She had to live stream to Instagram, and then, oh, I have to put this on YouTube. You know, like, she's got that sense of, I need to tell everybody on the internet that my father is dead. I need everybody to feel sorry for me. I need everybody to see this and see me crying so they can feel sorry for me. You know what I mean? Oops. Hit the play button there, Mindy. Ew. You're disgusting.
Look in. Into the nose, out the nose. Let's take 3 slow, deep breaths. Shanny.
See, and then if you knew you were upset enough to the point that you were doing this, click that X button. Why do we need to broadcast this?
That's good. That's good.
My daddy!
Yeah, this is all just manipulation. Okay, can we get past, like, oh, we just have more screaming, crying.
I don't have
COVID. She said because of COVID. That is so...
Wait.
So horrible.
have my dad. I can't even go to see him.
That's so horrible. No funerals?
No
Because
funeral.
of COVID. She said because of COVID.
Yeah.
That is so... There's no words for how...
It's so cold.
That is so abusive to
Wait. So there's no funeral because of COVID, and that's abusive? But wait, what? I mean, my grandfather passed away in May of last year. We still have not been able to have a funeral for him. So, I mean, that's not abusive. That's just the way the world is right now because of a pandemic. So it's not surprising that she can't go to a funeral because there is no funeral. How is that your sister's fault, you moron? Sounds like she's playing it up to get money. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the way I see this. She's just trying to manipulate her audience. And she said it herself on video. Will you stop hating me now? And that's why she's telling everybody this. That's why she's letting everybody see this. Because she wants to garner sympathy and turn that into money. Because COVID's all fake, don't you know? Yeah. Yeah. And I think Rev said pretty much the same to it. The same thing the other day.
Every person in the country.
The noises, Shanny, like you're playing it up, girly.
Keep breathing.
Like this did not need to be put on the internet.
They know more about him.
Okay. You want me close?
Yeah,
Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, all right? Shanny will be on YouTube. Peace out.
So we ended this. So we ended this, and she's on the couch in a puddle of tears, just an absolute mess. We switch over to YouTube, and suddenly she is coherent enough now to talk on YouTube. Like, if you needed more evidence than that, that this is all just an act, I don't know what to tell you. But, like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Because, look, like, she went from Instagram to YouTube. And here she is. Perfectly fine for YouTube now. You know?
Like,
she gathered herself enough.
And then I just got a message saying I'm faking crying.
Uh-huh.
I
believe
fucking
it.
Son of a bitches. I have some bad news. Because a lot of you guys know him. My dad.
Right? Yeah.
My dad just died.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Mark. If my father-in-law passed away, I'd be absolutely crushed. I'd be absolutely crushed. I would be as much of a mess if it was my own father that passed away. And yet Rev is just sitting there calm, composed, totally indifferent, it seems. You know what I mean? The Shammy Awards. I love that, Robert. The Shammy Awards. That's fantastic. All right. Sorry, that just makes me giggle.
I can't do this.
I can't do this, and yet you are. And yet you are, and you're broadcasting it. Like, come on.
My sister was cold as fucking ice.
When you are estranged from family, I don't know why you would. Was she supposed to be warm and apologetic and, oh, poor Shanny, I'm so sorry, Shanny. What do you need, Shanny? I'm sorry, but no, that's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. If you treat people like shit, they're going to treat you like shit in return. So what did she really expect? Again, the entitlement is showing.
Cold as fucking ice.
It's fucking ice.
Told me my dad died and told me I had to deal with it. No consoling. No, I love you, Shannon. Nothing.
Oh, boo-hoo.
My dad died of metastatic lung cancer. They gave him 3 months to live, but
so, oh, wait.
He never really smoked.
So you knew that he was, see, this just adds to the story. So she knew that he was really sick. She knew that he was palliative. She knew that she had very little time with him left. But while he was alive, didn't make any attempt to mend bridges with him so that she could say goodbye to him? Wow, Shanny. See, that just paints a whole other picture now that you didn't give a shit about your father until he was dead. Wow. Wow.
He didn't. He never really smoked.
You don't have to be.
He was apparently complaining of bone pain. I have that.
Oh, wait.
Go figure what that is. I don't have much longer either.
See, we're turning this around. How can we twist this to make it about Shanny? Feel sorry for Shanny because Shanny's dying again. You know, like I can't take her seriously. I can't when the manipulation is just so blatantly clear. You can't take her serious. I can't feel bad for her. I can't.
Then I'm told that my mom doesn't have much longer either. She's on her deathbed now too.
Yeah,
there's not going to be any funeral or anything.
That's actually like that's something that is very heartbreaking because unfortunately, because of what Shanny has done, her children now don't get to say goodbye to their grandfather because of what she's done. And that's really, really sad. And I feel really bad for those boys, unfortunately, you know. It's really heartbreaking when kids I got the hiccups. When kids get stuck with a parent like Shanny, and unfortunately, they get estranged from that side of the family. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a relationship with my real mother. So unfortunately, none of my 3 children know her. And that wasn't my choice. That wasn't my choice at all. I tried to have a relationship with her so that she could have a relationship with my children, but it was her choice not to have a relationship with any of us. So, I mean, part of me feels bad that my kids don't get to have a relationship with their grandmother, but I mean, ultimately that was her decision. And now Shanny's decision to be estranged with her family, like she could have, when she found out that her father only had 3 months left, she could have made the effort to mend bridges with her father so that her children could say goodbye to him. Like there are steps that she could have taken, you know, to try and mend things, to make things better so that they could have an actual goodbye. And she could have done that for the betterment of her children, but she didn't. I would only accept this if she started singing Leaves. Does she ever ask for money for his sake prior to now? Is this just a new scam they thought of recently? Mark, I think honestly that she's just going to try and use this as a way to get money for herself. They do have a new Cash App up within 24 hours of being banned the first time. So they are going to be accepting. Rev has already used it to beg for money. They tried to use the children at first, like the kids need things, send us money. The animals need things, please send us money. And when they were criticized about the most recently with the animals and stuff and being accused of scamming and stuff, I think that they're going to turn this around to my dad just died. I'm in a really bad place. Feel sorry for me. Please send me donations. Like that's absolutely what I think that this is being used for. Otherwise, why broadcast it? Why show it to the internet? You know, if people on the internet are giving you so much grief and harassment and stalking and they're stressing you out, why would your first instinct be to jump online and tell everybody that your dad passed away unless you were planning on using it to try and grift, basically? The story intensifies. Yeah. But no, that's what I think it is. Like, I mean, I don't doubt that she's grieving. I mean, she's obviously grieving. I'm sure she cared about her dad. I'm sure she feels sad. But what I have an issue with is the fact that she's obviously trying to use it to earn money on the internet. Like she wants to beg for money and she needs to go after something that makes people feel emotional and that they want to send her money. She's using emotional manipulation in order to convince people to send her money. Guaranteed that's what they're going to use this for. Rev just said family are staying away from her because they don't want to share the inheritance with Shanny. How cold. Oh. That I wouldn't know about that. I guess what they would have to do is, what's in his will. You know, when my grandfather passed away, there was some questions about my uncle and how inheritance would be divided and things like that, and whether he would, fight for more, that type of thing. So before he passed away, my grandfather made sure that, the will was ironclad, that everything was sorted out, everything was, like everything was set out ahead of time so that when he did pass away last year, it would be very straightforward to divvy up the inheritance. So, I mean, if there's inheritance out there for Shanny, she's entitled to it. It would all depend on whether her father decided to change the will, because it's very possible that within the last couple of years, because they've been estranged, that her father decided to go ahead and cut her out of the will. That's a possibility. And then she would have to hire a lawyer to fight for her part of it. I don't know. I mean, the siblings, I don't think the siblings can, I don't know too much about when it comes to dealing with estates and things like that. But it shows a lack of empathy there on Rev's part, that if he just passed away this morning or last night, why are they worrying about inheritance already? Right? Like, why exactly, Glitchy? Why care about that so soon? He just passed away. Why is inheritance at the top of the list there? Oh, that's right, because Rev and Shanny only care about money. Likely in Rev's mind, Shanny got his inheritance, so obviously he should get hers. Yeah, that would not surprise me at all. That's probably his thinking. He was, that could be why he's such a cool demeanor, because he's thinking, oh, this could be the answer to our prayers. Shanny's dad passed away. She has inheritance. So this could mean that we have money for a little while, Sorry, inheritance is something you don't control. Lawyers will dole it out appropriately. My grandfather passed away a few years ago and the process was cut and dry. Nobody could interfere. Yeah, I mean, like I said, when my grandfather passed away last year in May, he sat down with a lawyer. He made sure that everything was everything was sorted out, the way it was going to be divvied up, who got what. Like, it was a very easy process for my father to deal with, because my grandfather had set it up so that everything was taken care of. Everything was black and white and just straightforward. And they each got what they got, right? So it should be that way. But unfortunately, that's not always the way that it turns out, because, a lot of people do fight over inheritance and shit. Now we know why she's so upset. Yeah. Putting on a show.
Even though he fucking deserves it!
Wait, what does he deserve? Hang on.
Deserves it! There is not going to be any funeral or anything.
Oh.
Even though he fucking deserves it!
I'm sorry, Shanny, but there is a lot of people out there that passed away in the last year and a half that didn't get a funeral, like my grandfather, that absolutely deserve it. It's just unfortunate with life the way it is in the pandemic. It's heartbreaking.
I hate my family for what they've done. It kept me away from my dad for so many years.
Your father is a grown man. If he wanted to see you or you wanted to see him, you could have made that happen. It's not like he's a 5-year-old child that they kept in a jail cell saying, no, Shanny, you can't see him. He was a grown adult who could have made his own decisions and been like, hey, I'm going to see if I want to see you, It really is. It really is. I don't have an ounce of sympathy for her at all.
I have had enough of life. And I don't know how I'm gonna mentally fucking handle this.
Then that's when you pick up and you go to the hospital and you speak to a mental health professional. If you are in a situation where you feel like you are out of control and that you are in danger of hurting yourself or hurting someone else, go to the hospital. Like, there should be no thought about that. Go to the hospital.
Because, like my sister said, I have to handle my dad dying by myself with no family there for me.
Have you been there for them, Shanny? Have you offered to be there for them, Shanny? It's a two-way street. Did you offer to help them? Did you offer to console them? Why are they the only ones that need to offer you help? What about you helping them?
I gotta get a hold of my cousins. I need to tell my cousin Darlene what happened. I gotta call Pat.
Oh no, Pat. Ugh, gross.
That's all you get.
That's all we get, huh? 13 minutes of you ugly crying. She needs therapy? Yeah, she does. She needs therapy. She needs meds. She needs lots of things. Unfortunately, Shanny's, again, one of those people that is not willing. Yeah, he even saw a boogie. Yeah, there's a couple of times where there was boogers hanging out of her nose, and it was just like, that's what happens when you ugly cry. But yeah, I just completely forgot what I was talking about. She needs therapy. That's right. Yes. Shanny has to be willing to help herself, and she's not. She just wants to sit there and have everybody feel sorry for her, because that's what's easy. She's lazy. She doesn't want to have to put in the work to help herself, unfortunately. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Let's see. I do have another Rev video up here. But I want to check and see if he's put out anything since
The
then.
guaranteed.
Oh, that's XX. I don't want XX. I want actual Revelation News. Where is his? Revelation News, where are you? There you are. Oh, that's the new. Okay, so that is the newest video. All right, that's fine. Well, let's click on this, and we'll see what Rev has to say about the loss of Shanny's father.
Howdy, folks. It's Rev here. I'm just gonna call myself that from now on. You know what I mean? That's like
raises a lot of
that's what
questions. I thought the
everybody
same
on
thing
the
when I said
internet
teacup.
pretty much knows me as, and I really wish you knew me before. A lot of crazy stuff has happened in my life, but you didn't know me then, so you know me now. But it's Rev, and today's a very somber day.
I haven't watched any of this
I
yet.
just want to say rest in peace, Joe McGraw of Duluth, Minnesota. I want to say rest in peace.
Oh, Rev.
And, may your in.
You just doxed Shanny's family, dude. This is... Rev is stupid enough to the point where you cannot be friends with him. You can't run the risk of being friends with him because he will dox you unintentionally. He has done this with it. He did this over on Smokey Saint's channel. Well, not him personally, but like Smokey Saint was watching one of his videos. And Rev name dropped like full first and last and middle name of like two of his friends. So like you can't... You can't be friends with Rev and tell him any information because he will unintentionally dox you. He is not a smart man. That's where I live, really. Everyone already knew that, though. Did they? Okay. Well, I'm behind on the game on that then. I didn't know where Shanny's family lived.
Glorious. There's so much that I could say about, you know, what I've witnessed in terms of Shanny's family. Okay.
Can I just say I really hate this angle where the camera is staring right at Rev's crotch? Can we not, Rev?
Anna, we're going to definitely get into that, but I want to be very respectful right now in this moment. And if you feel in your heart to do it, just stop doing what you're doing and just have a good thought for Joe McGraw. So this man is Shanny's dad, and he just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go into details because I am married to Shanny, but still I want to be respectful. And I talked to Erin because Erin is her sister, and is Shanny's sister, and I spoke to her shortly, and I just basically said, you know, God bless you and your family, and I pray that you have comfort. And I cried like Shanny heard the news and she hit the floor. She literally hit the floor screaming.
I'm sorry, she hit the floor and the floor's still intact. What?
And I thought for sure it was that her mom had passed, but no. This is what's crazy, guys. Well, he already wrapped up his life, bless him. But
the issue that I have with this, Mark, and with the cigarettes is he's both him and Shanny have been talking about how they don't have food for the guinea pigs or the cats or the kids. And I'm sorry, but when it comes down to where you are in that dire straits, that it's food or cigarettes, you know, that $6-7 that it cost him to get a cigarette could be more groceries for the family. You know what I mean? So that crater impact. I'm sorry. I try so hard not to fat shame anybody. I really, really go out of my way to not make fat jokes, but I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that moment. I really couldn't. But yeah, with the whole cigarettes, like when you are to the point where it's food or cigarettes, you need to drop the cigarettes, you know, like there can't be, you got to quit. You got to quit if you've got children or animals to feed. That has to come first before your addiction.
Shanny's mom is sick too, and it's like the timing is like soulmates. You know, I definitely get the vibe of like my grandma and grandpa Davis, like Betty and Joe are like that. You know, they're like soulmates, and when the one goes, then the other's going in a timely fashion. It's just your life partner.
He's not entirely wrong on that. That does happen often.
Shared everything with, and every day, and sure, there's fights, and there's huge fights and blow-ups, and yeah, but that's part of a relationship. And at the end of the day, you still love each other deeply, as deep as you could imagine love. That's the type of love I'm talking about. That soulmate connection, which I believe in fully. You know, I believe me and Shanny have that, a soulmate connection.
Does your soulmate beat the shit out of you though? I don't know about you, but I'm married to my soulmate, and I would never in this lifetime think that it was okay to beat the shit out of him like Shanny did for you. So yeah, you might want to rethink that.
So I want to be respectful. And
no, I do not.
Show, and you got there. You know, the gate's open, I'm sure. And Peter let you right in. Where does this come from that the Apostle Peter's at the gate
I
of
wouldn't
heaven?
be
Is that
surprised.
Catholic? Because I don't understand. They always have the Apostle Peter as the key master to the gate. But I mean, maybe it's, yeah, I gave you the keys. I give you the keys to the kingdom, right? And you're going to be the little rock, the Petra that
What the
makes
heck
my
is he
church.
going
I'm
on
going to build
about?
my church on you. And then they called Peter the first pope. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to go into that.
See, again, this gives me the impression that his train of thought is speeding down a track in the wrong direction with the conductor screaming at the top of his lungs.
Sorry about that. I would ask anybody
Exactly,
that has
Glitchy.
faith, if you're a Christian, if you're a spiritual individual, whatever, if you could maybe put up some good vibes or prayers. I call them prayers because I'm a Christian. Okay. If you could put up some of that for Shanny, I would be eternally grateful to you, because this is very tough. She loved her dad deeply. Shanny loves her dad
We don't
deeply.
doubt that.
And regardless of stuff that happens, you love. You love. If you love, you love. It's just the way it goes, man. For real individuals.
Real
When you
individuals.
love, you love. And it hurts to lose the ones you love, of course. But
He
that's
fidgets so much.
that part of the video. But I have to just say, now I'm gonna get people say, Rev, you can't judge how people are acting because it's a very traumatic time for the family. Okay. All right. You can say that. And I would agree with you to a point, because what I heard with Shannon and her sister on the phone was just, I used the word cold. Now, I spoke to her and she spoke nicely to me, but I never spoke to Aaron before. Uh, but I was respectful, and she said, "Thank you,
You can
Jason."
really see the wheels turning. I'm surprised there isn't steam coming out the ears right now. I doubt that Shanny has love for anyone but herself. Seeing how the way she treats her kids, yeah, I could see that. So why is he not showing any pain about Shanny losing her father? It's all just words from him, no body language. Yeah. It all seems, what he's doing right now all seems very forced. It seems like he's trying to focus this into a particular point that he's going to get across here, and I have a feeling I kind of know where he's going.
Listen, I just said prayers for you and your family, and I just hope that you get comfort.
Like, let's let's play up the sympathy for Shanny.
But I mean, this
Rev,
conversation
I don't
happened,
want to see your
and you
junk.
should know about it. Okay, and Shanny goes to her sister this. She asks her if she loves her, number one, and she didn't even answer her. No answer to "Do you love me?" And that is the question that Jesus asked Peter after he had risen, and he was going to ascend soon, ish.
So I want to put this out here, that the two of them seem to be under the impression that you have to love your family no matter what. And that is not true. You don't have to love anybody that you don't love. And if you don't love a family member, if you don't love a sister or a cousin or a brother or an uncle, whatever, if you don't love them, that's okay. That's okay. If you had a toxic relationship with a person, you are not required to love them. Like the woman that gave birth to me, I can honestly say, I do not love her. And if she died tomorrow, I would not care. I don't have to love her just because she is not entitled to my emotions simply because she gave birth to me. Okay? And Shanny's Shanny's sister is not obligated to love her just because they're siblings. And we need to drop this whole idea that you have to love your family because they're your family. And that's something I feel very strongly about, is that you don't have to love your family. You don't. If you don't have a relationship with them, or they are toxic people, or they've hurt you in some way, you don't have to love them. You don't. There's nothing out there saying that you have to love them simply because you share the same genetics. That's not fair. Rev never met Joe. He's only threatened Joe and call him names before this. Yeah, I remember that. I think Shanny and Rev did a video about that where he got all bit mouthy with Joe. And I think that was not long after Joe and Betty did a video about Shanny describing what happened the day that they kicked Shanny out of their house. Hi, Jeff. How are ya? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, you're not obligated to love your family members. You don't have to. And the fact that you should force it or just say it just because, like if you don't love someone, you don't have to tell them that you love them. Like it's simple as that. And if Shanny's sister doesn't love her, it's probably better that she didn't answer that question, because I'm sure if her sister said no, that would have hurt a lot more than just not answering the question, right?
Because Jesus stuck around for some people say 60 days, like 40 to 60 days. He stuck around and he was like popping in front of people. Yo, what's up? That's why people believed. And that's why people believe to this day. We believe that Christ rose from the grave.
And we got to turn this into about Jesus.
I believe he could appear in front of you right now. I believe he could appear in front of me right here or in the sky and come back right now. I believe that.
Good for you, Rev. What's that got to do with Shanny and her dad dying?
But first of all, she didn't even answer, yeah, I love you. So that's flag number one, right?
She doesn't
that's
have
a big
to.
Flag for me. You can't even say during the time that you call your sister cold, and Shanny saw the number. She's like, oh my God, it's Aaron. It's got to be Aaron. 909. She's like, yeah, that's got to be Aaron, right? And she picks it up, and it's just cold. Like,
her sister didn't even have to call and let her know what happened. It's a courtesy that she did. So she should be happy that if you have a relationship like that, the way Shanny has with her sister, where there's no contact, there's no, interaction, there's no relationship whatsoever, the fact that her sister still picked up the phone to call her and let her know what was going on was still just a courtesy.
Shanny
but of course,
goes, is it Mom?
Rev and Shanny don't understand
passed?
that.
And no, it's Dad. And she just starts screaming. Oh, Dad died. Starts screaming, and she collapsed. And I felt that. I cried, man. I felt.
Sure, no problem, Jeff.
Too. Joe's my dad too, by marriage. And it's the coldness. Basically, this is what happened in that conversation with Aaron at the end of it, okay? Shanny is saying, please, can I have my family to grieve with? Can I please have my family to talk to? She asked her, can I have a relationship with you? Aaron basically said, no, Dad's dead. I'm calling you to let you know that. And you got to deal with it. That's what she did.
She's within her right to do that.
Shanny has 3 siblings. You're meaning to tell me that it's okay for you to just throw away your sister? All of you guys.
Yes. You have the right to remove any toxic person from your life that you choose. So absolutely. And it doesn't matter if they are a parent, a sibling, a cousin, aunt, uncle, whatever. If they are toxic in your life, then you have the right to remove them from your life. And whether or not you like that doesn't matter. They still have the right to do it.
I never talked to one of you. I just talked to Aaron for the first time. Well-spoken woman, all that.
I know, right? I wish, Mark. I really wish.
Look, you guys have to really, and I'm talking to Shanny's brothers and sister.
I agree.
Okay, I'm talking to you. Why is it that you can't have a relationship with this girl? Now,
No, I don't. I try and keep it.
me, a third party sitting outside of it.
I try, Jeff, when I stream about them, I try and keep it like condensed. So like if something big happens or whatever, I'll cover it. Because I'm going to be 100% honest. I kind of got sucked into their drama a while back, probably at the beginning of the year. I started watching drag, and I was so invested. It was like a cable TV show for me. Like I couldn't not watch because there was something happening every day, you know? So I find it extremely entertaining to cover them. I know it's not for everybody, and I know a lot of people don't understand why, but I am personally entertained by it, which is why I cover it. Just me, and all three siblings hate her, but Shanny's right. What is it that Dr. Phil says about the common denominator in a situation like that? You know? But again, you can't force people to have a relationship with you that don't want to. And just because your dad passed away doesn't mean that they have to. I mean, you deal with it. And maybe you sit and reflect on yourself and your own behavior and wonder, what did I do that could have caused this? How can I be better in the future so that this doesn't happen again? Maybe, how can I perhaps work towards building a relationship with them or my other siblings in the future? You know, like you have to do self-reflection in this situation as well, because notice how what Rev is talking about is that Shanny was asking for, can I have my family to help me grieve? Can I have my family with me? Can I have my sister? What was Shanny offering in return? You know, what was Shanny offering to help and say, you know, what do you guys need? How do you feel? What can I do to help? Like, how can we help each other? No, it's all about Shanny. What does Shanny need? What can you give Shanny? And she's so self-focused that she's obviously hasn't taken the time to even consider that her sister also just lost her dad. And she's grieving in her own way. But no, it's all about Shanny. I don't watch Dragnot because he has 3 gears. Those gears are called Rev, Shanny, and G-Man. I don't watch a lot of G-Man stuff, but Rev and Shanny is something I got into.
And there's only one good reason that I'm coming up with. And that's called inheritance.
Okay, so Rev's trying to insinuate here that the reason why the sister doesn't want a relationship with Shanny is so that Shanny doesn't get her inheritance. And that's not how that works. I mean, my dad and his brother don't really have much of a relationship. They barely see each other. They hardly talk to each other. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't obligated to give my uncle his portion of the inheritance that was, you know, portioned out to him. You know, so whether or not you have a relationship with someone doesn't mean that you're not going to get what, you know, portion of the inheritance is due to you. So if Shanny has a cut of the will, and the lawyer is going to be obligated to give it to her, whether or not that sister wants it or not. And if the sister wants to dispute that, she's going to have to take it to court and have a very good reason about why Shanny shouldn't get her portion of the inheritance. And I have to say, it feels extremely weird arguing for on the side of Shanny. But, I mean, just to kind of make the point that Rev, not having a relationship with your sister doesn't mean that you're not going to get your inheritance. There will be a lawyer and there will be someone to give Shanny her inheritance if there is inheritance to be had.
Yeah, you want to split this 3 ways instead of 4, right?
It is. That's why. That's why I enjoy watching it.
I ain't begging for no inheritance money. I'm just saying that that's what it's looking like to me. Why would you be so cold to your sister when you haven't spoken to her at least over 3 years?
Why would you be so cold to someone you haven't spoken to in 3 years? How do you answer your own question with the question itself, Rev? You freaking moron.
3.5 years now since I've been with her. You've never talked to my wife. None of you. She has reached out to you countless times on the internet. And I can attest to that because I saw her typing to you.
Oh,
Then
typing.
she just gets called something disgusting or just gets blocked summarily. Just, you're out of my life.
I'd want Shanny out of my life
So
too
I'm
if she was
talking to
family.
her brothers and her sister. Why can't you have a relationship with Shanny?
Because listen to what Shanny has said about her family. She hates her family. So why would they want a relationship with her? Like, you see how Shanny behaves. I wouldn't want a relationship with somebody like that. It's not that hard to figure out, Rev. And they're not obligated to have a relationship with her. So fuck off with that entitled bullshit.
And why would you be so fucking cold to just call her and tell her, yeah, Dad died, deal with it?
Because if you don't have a
How
relationship
is
with
that
someone but still
okay?
need to let them know,
It's not okay.
it's perfectly fine.
Now, Aaron, I was respectful to you on the phone because it's the first time I ever spoke to you, and it's a very tough time for you. And I get that, okay? But there's absolutely no excuse that regardless of what's going on with Betty, and, you know, I know she's passing too. She's in the process of passing too. Why is it not that you can't embrace your sister?
Because she doesn't want to and she doesn't have
Well,
to.
how do you think Jesus is going to look at you if you keep pushing this girl away? Who wants nothing except to be loved?
Maybe she should have thought about that. Oh my god, loud truck, Rev.
UPS guy, sorry. Hey. She's your sister.
Uh-huh. Doesn't matter. Oh, he ended that real quickly, didn't he? Okay, then. Well, thanks for stopping by, Mark. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. It is a little fucked up that the inheritance is their primary focus on the same day that, yeah. And it's usually the people that are money hungry that are the ones that worry about that stuff, you know. I don't know. I don't feel sorry for her, and I am not going to be surprised if in a day or two we have more e-begging and this is being used to try and milk more money out of the internet audience. So Shanny demands to be loved no matter what she says and does. Yes, absolutely. She does. And what she needs to realize is that she's not entitled to people's love. It is, see, when you demand to be loved, you have to realize that you have to be a lovable person in return. You know, otherwise you're just going to push everybody away from you. You can't be an asshole to everybody in your life and then expect that they love you and then get mad when they don't. You know, you can't treat people like garbage and expect them to stick around. That's not how that works. And these people are not obligated to keep you in their lives when you treat them like garbage. So, Jerry's final thoughts. Yes, this is Mindy's final thoughts. Oh my goodness, we've been going for an hour and a half, guys, almost an hour and 45 minutes. That's a lot of material to cover today. I'm glad I got through all 3 videos that I wanted to get through. I want to say thank you very, very much for watching. I may not stream again till probably Monday, which is my birthday. Again, I don't know how quickly. I'm hoping that I can get my internet up sooner. It all depends on the schedule of the repair guy. But I might do a stream like Monday night after it gets repaired. I don't know. My husband wants me to call and speak to a supervisor to see if we can get a repair guy out sooner. But with it being, you know, the weekend, I don't know. I don't know how that was beat. We'll see if we can get somebody out here tomorrow to fix it. I don't know. I can try. You can never have too much, Sassy. Oh, hi, Bruce. Yeah, we just finished. We've been going for like an hour and 45 minutes covering Rev and Shanny today. So I'm sorry that that we missed you. But I also wanted to say to all my atheist viewers today, stay safe because it is the National Day of Praying Away Atheism. It's the prayer to end atheism today. So if anybody converts today, I want to know about it. I want to hear your story. We want to see evidence that prayer changed your mind. Use my inner Karen. Yeah, I know. I don't have an inner Karen though. You don't understand how difficult that is. But yeah, so hopefully I will be up and running sooner. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Remember to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a great weekend. I love you all. Bye.